minions. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Best of 5 and King of the Desert 2. Thank you again to Mem for organizing this event. We'll have lots of Best of 5s today. It's a fantastic event. Happy to be casting it. And so far, the round 1 has delivered. In round 1, you will have players like Cloud, who are 28th, 29th, 30th seed, facing off against TheMax, who's favored to go much further in the event. But there's certainly potential for upsets. We just saw Daniel earlier getting a game off Yo, and he came close in some stages of a best of 5. So looking forward to see what Cloud can do here. But I want to take a moment just to talk about TheMax, because TheMax is the player who is incredible in team games and doesn't play a lot of 1v1s. And many of you might have joined the community within the last 6 months, so you might not know much about TheMax. And I guess I might even switch the colors here to make this easier, because Max is normally teal. But Max, the last 1v1 he played was King of the Desert 1. And I just want to remind you all of who he beat in that tournament to get to the semifinals. He beat MBL, he beat Slam, and he beat Licks. I think the order was actually Licks, Slam, MBL. So he beat 3 fantastic players to get to the semifinals. And the only player he lost to was the winner of the tournament, who was the Viper. So I'm always excited when I see Max playing this game, but I'm particularly excited to see him in 1v1s, because it's not something you see frequently. And I genuinely believe he's a top 4 player in the world. But he needs to show in King of the Desert 2 that he can win consistently in 1v1s. And then I think he'd definitely get that spot. Also, recently he won the 2v2 World Cup. He's always played good for Finland. So he's here in the blue playing as the Celts. In the red, we have Cloud. Cloud is playing as the Mayans. And will he try and lame? He thinks about it. And he will not get the lame. Okay. But he did delay Max a bit there. So this whole best of 5 will be on YouTube. I plan on uploading the whole tournament if I can. Just uploading the sets of games. We'll see as the games go on. Like, if there's an incredible 3-hour game, I might upload it individually. But for the most part, I think this King of the Desert tournament will be uploaded as VODs, essentially. So I'll be able to show YouTube the Civ draft and all of that, which would be nice. I love mines in 1v1s. Celts are good, but I think Max has chosen Celts because if he does win in this best of 5, he wouldn't mind losing out on Celts in rounds 2, because that's how this tournament is set up. I'll see what Max goes for here, but Mayans are fantastic in this matchup. Anytime that Mayan player gets the plumes, anytime they can mass eagles, they're going to be very deadly. Cloud's base has a safe stone. His gold is alright. I mean, looks like he wants to wall this way. So if he's able to wall his base, this could be a perfect base for Drush Fast Castle, in all honesty. As long as he walls behind it. I think Celts would have to be more aggressive, so open up with Man-at-Arms, possibly. Something to consider with Celts is they have faster firing Mangonels, so they would be good against archers. But plumed archers are very quick. And plumed archers can micro down Mangonels even if they're Celt Mangonels. So I think that's what makes it tough. Dark Age is a bit sloppy from Max, at least I think so. But he steals some goats, okay. So that is unfortunate for Cloud, because he ran forward to lame. And because he ran forward, he didn't have his goat scouted. So he's just lost out on 200 food there. After the draft, they pick the civs hidden before every match. Exactly, Pillow Fighter. So when they go into the game, they just see hidden civ. They don't know what their opponent has picked until they're in the match. But I don't think Cloud will be going Drush Fast Castle. I think he'll be going Man-at-Arms. And interestingly enough, it is Drush for Max. And I didn't touch on Max's golds too much, but the gold's pretty good if he walls. If he walls here, this is fine. So the idea behind a Drush is to give yourself some time. So I'm curious to see what Max will be doing here. Like, what is he building up towards? He would have to go Drush into archers, which is fine as Celts. It doesn't excite you because they don't get Arbalest, but they chop wood faster, so they're a great archer and skirm civ. But if Cloud goes man-at-arms, and he will, Max will need some walls at home to protect from that. Yeah, KOTD2, King of the Drush 2. King of the Drush 2. Now don't think of any more ideas. Let's keep this PG, okay? With the whole KOTD2. Let's keep this PG. Max has a scout. He knows that Cloud's trying to wall up. And this is really good. Cloud is coming this way to build a lumber camp. And Max could not only delay this villager and the wall off, but he could delay these villagers. Or he could block the villain, kill him. It's not worth it. Yeah, it was smart of him to bail there. So Cloud was going for a strong offensive strategy. The strategy was man-at-arms. He wanted to immediately get feudal, upgrade man-at-arms, go forward to his opponent and pressure. And what has the Drush done? It has pulled all of that offensive pressure back. So now Cloud's in feudal age, but he's at home defensively. So that is a very strong start for the Max. So sometimes you make your own man-at-arms to combat someone if they're going for man-at-arms, but here you just delay them and give yourself a bit of time. Make a few more militia, which Max is doing. And of course he has Celt infantry, right? So these bad boys are gonna be able to survive. They're pretty quick. Yep. Nice micro from the Max. Really strong start. And now man-at-arms is on the way for him. So he's not fully walled. Hopefully he checks here. But he builds his archery range. And he should win this fight. 5 versus 4. I just wonder what Cloud's follow-up is. See, Cloud's going archers as well. Yep. Good fight from the Max. Really good fight for the Max. Look at this. He'll have 3 remaining after this. Yeah, he loses a scout, which is a bit unfortunate because that could still be of some use. But 3 man-at-arms, this is enough where Cloud will have to make archers before he can... He'll need two or three archers before he can deal with this. And Max will probably just delay. So he's not melee, but he will delay. Panzer says, how being quick helps survive in melee engagements? Are you asking if being a fast player helps you in melee engagements? Or are you saying, how does the Celt infantry being quick help? Because I mentioned that. Well, Celt infantry, it helped because Max needed to get his upgrades. So he needed to run away. And so he was able to run away and then win that fight. So he received less shots. And in this instance, he's able to run all around Cloud's base and annoy him, so. And the archers are now distracted, and Max could make skirms and archers loop around to the right with his man-at-arms, show up with the skirms, and boom, shoot the archers. Now, hopefully the lion doesn't... Oh, this is amazing! Max has summoned the wild beast. That's great. Max has summoned the lion to his side. They're fletching for Cloud. And they're pretty much doing the same thing. Of course, Max has the man-at-arms, but... they're going archers and skirms. Oh god, a bit of revenge. I think Max could lose his lion to this, if he's not careful. Or not his lion. Yeah, it's Max's lion. I meant lose his man-at-arm to the lion. Yeah, but it's fine. He uses the man-at-arms against the lion. And then he uses his archers and skirms versus the 2 archers there. As he should have. I think Cloud, had he scouted his base a bit more and thought about it a bit more, he could have gone Drush and he could have gone Fast Castle Plume. I don't know if everyone in the Twitch chat agrees, but I feel as though with the safe stone, safe golds, he could have built the barracks a bit earlier, made the militia, and then full walled his base, and Max would have then had to go aggressive and go forward to stop him from getting there. I mean, just a thought. Obviously, it's probably not worth talking about right now. Both players going into archers. This does give Max a potential lead in Castle Age, because he'd have the faster firing Machinels. If it's not plumed archer, then I don't necessarily love the Mayan position. Now, what's the other option for mines? It would be to go Eagles. But do you want to go Eagles against a guy who can go Woad Raiders? No. So I don't think you can just transition into eagles easily, because by the time you get a mass of them, Celts will have a big ball of Woad Raiders, or at least one castle to hold. And Max now shows it to the left. Cloud is too worried about walling up that side. He'll lose. Wait. Yeah, he'll lose one Vil. I just think it's been more clean from Max. You know, he's making this look very easy, but at the start, the Drush was in the perfect location. He ran away, made more militia, upgraded man-at-arms. 6 kills, 3 deaths for him. And while he might not be able to get in here, he will distract his opponent, and he's fine at home, which is the most important thing, and he did get a pick off there. Just very clean, man. Like, the best players in the world, they don't necessarily do anything flashy. There are, of course, flashy moments. They just always seem to be ahead. They always seem to be in the lead, making the right decisions. Like, that's what you would expect. I know the best example, of course, when you're talking best players would be Viper. Viper, of course, he has the potential for flashy moves. He's shown it many times. But more than anything, it's just that when you're watching Viper play, you see him in this position. Like, he always seems to be ahead. He always knows what to expect. And that's where Max is right now. And I just love how look at the damage he has done here. He's forcing more houses to be built. Cloud has had to run away from his wood line after losing the Vil. Now Max has the skirmishers in front. So he uses his skirms versus the archers, and then right when the eagles come in, his archers are on the backside to kill those eagles. I mean, this is impressive unit control now. And while Cloud's on the way up, I definitely like Max's position more. So Cloud, again, you can't go eagles, at least at this stage. You need 2 to 3 barracks to justify eagles, because they take so long to create. Wow, and Cloud's even building a tower. He's frightened. He knows that Max might hit Castle Age faster. If Max gets Elite Skirm and Crossbow, he would break through and get to this wood line. I'm a Max fanboy, but this has been really solid, man. Constant production. Untouched at home. Will he send a Vil forward for a Siege Workshop? I'd kind of like to see that. Not that he would need it, because I still think if he goes for Elite Skirm and Crossbow, he's in a nice position, but it's a thought. It is kind of a weird place to tower, but yeah, maybe Cloud should have just gone back here. That's just a sign that Cloud is scared, right? It's not necessarily the best decision to tower there, but that's just a sign that he knows bad things are coming. Ooh, okay. Well, how will Max react to this? He hasn't scouted it. There is a forward villager for the Siege Workshop, but Cloud leaves his base. This is a huge risk, obviously. He leaves his base, knowing he's behind, is getting Crossbow and Bodkin. This is something Max does not see. And then a defensive Siege Workshop from Cloud. So if he has the tower here, maybe Max won't push in, and then he can defend with Mangonels and kill Max at home. That's the logic here. Max will have to react. Max loses 1, 2, 3 villagers, which gives Cloud a Vil lead. And if Max runs back, that's a victory for Cloud. Like, not an actual win, of course, in the game, but just a small victory in the battle to get Max away from his base. Yeah, Max is coming back with the skirms now. That's not bad. That was a good move from Cloud. If Max would have known the crossbows went forward, though, he would have run right underneath his tower, and he could have killed all this by now, but you know, now Max is looking to get in himself. Let's see what Max's micro is like against a Mangonel. He will see the Mangonel, he will dodge the Mangonel, and he will leave. He will leave, which is, I guess, the smart move, because Cloud is pretty far behind economically, at least with efficiency. He'll wait for his own Mangonel, he'll send his skirmers back, it's not bad. Cloud's Vil count is deceiving. He didn't have horse color in his farms. He ran away from his gold with all of his villagers there. This looks very sloppy, right? A lot of T90 farms, expired farms, and the ones that are working are far away from the TC. So it's just some slop. And now Cloud will lose his crossbows. These skirmishers have full armor upgrades. Oh, and now Max has killed one Mangonel, and he's unfortunate not to kill the second. And okay, he again goes for the smart move of leaving. So I like the move from Cloud. The style he went for there, the strat he went for is called China style, where you try and sneak an army out to counter your opponent and surprise them. And that China style could be really strong. Chinese players are known for it, but in this case, it's a Taiwanese player. What's Max's economy like behind this? That's the question. 2 TCs. I think it's a tough map to town center on for Max. There's a lot of hills. So he'd probably be on 3 TCs if he felt like there was a spot for it. He can't TC in a great area unless it's here, or maybe here, but chasing down the crossbows. Still applying pressure on the front. Where are the stones for the Max? There's a stone here. Okay, he's TCing that. That's important. And the other stone is out here. So remember, I mentioned Woad Raiders. The potential for Woad Raiders is always big for Celts. And the players just went 1-for-1 with their Mangonels. Well, the game has slowed down a bit here. Cloud is also on 3 TCs. It's really tough for Cloud because if he makes crossbows, he dies to skirms or Mangonels. But if he makes eagles, eventually Max can go into the Woad Raiders. So I think Max needs to have some type of a fight with his Mangos. He needs a couple good trades. Or he needs to counterattack in some way. It's probably the best option. I think investing into eagles is too little too late at this point. See, the problem, and Sign says he needs eagles and crossbows. Well, on paper, yes. Obviously, if you had 20 eagles right now, it'd be very good. But to get to eagles from this stage would take far too long. He only has 1 barracks, so he would need a few of them. That's good. That's good. He would need to have 3 or 4 barracks to create the amount of eagles he would need. And by the time he'd get to that number, Max would have a castle. So this stage of the game is probably just a trade with Mangonels, and Max is not concerned about losing skirmishers to TC fire. He runs in, and he's looking to trade versus the crossbows, and he's doing a great job with this. He gets the hill, he sees the Mangonels there, he's looking to avoid this, and, okay, see, it wasn't the best micro from Max there, but how many crossbows did he kill? Yeah, he could kill all the crossbows at this rate. There we go, that's just some good split micro. Even if he loses the skirmishers, it doesn't matter to him at the end of the day. That's a good trade. So much blue on this minimap, guys. So much blue. Max building an outpost 1-for-1 with Mangonels. And Max is on stone. He'll build the castle soon, and I just don't see Cloud coming back from this one. I mean, not the way Max is playing this. Maybe if Max was playing more shaky, I'd say Cloud could win a Mangonel fight, catch Max off guard with a counterattack. But the way Max is playing this is virtually flawless. And pretty soon he'll probably be collecting those relics as well. Look at the shot from the Max. Did you see the reaction time on that? That was insane. It's also with Finland to Taiwan lag as well. It's not like these guys are playing single player. That was instant dodge to the side. And let's see if he reacts this time. Yeah, look, he sees it immediately. He fires, he dodges. He fires, and 1-for-1. Yeah. Well played. Cloud could get to Imp. He almost needs to go Plumes now, I think, in Imp. Makes it difficult against Celts, because Celts have the strong siege, but Eagles won't work. Crossbows, you don't have many. So I think you need Imp and you need a castle and you need Plumes. Nice shot from Cloud. Nice shot from Cloud. Something needs to be said. Cloud's Vil count, despite all the pressure he's been receiving, is damn impressive. Because he's still at 83 villagers. Obviously, he's had an inefficient eco in comparison. Oh no! Oh no! Oh god, he was going to build his castle there. Max could have denied that. A great job from Cloud to realize that was happening and bail. That freaked me out for a second there. And oh, nice shot from Cloud. Okay, this is what Cloud needs. Can he get a shot? Max will split. Nah, those crossbows are gonna have a little bit more life in them. Yep, there it goes. No, in Sign Toast, there's still a lot of lag between Taiwan and Finland. It's not like two European players playing. Like, I understand, yeah, I mean, might not be quite as bad, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still Taiwan versus Finland. Both players on the way up. Max has the forward castle, and so he can go immediately for the Treb. And this is a problem. This is one of many problems for Cloud. Maginot nothing, exactly. See, Cloud wants plumes, and he needs castles to create plumes. But he'll lose his castle at this rate. Either to Rams, or Trebs, or both. Again, it just seems like TheMax has full control. You know, he is keeping an eye on the right-hand side at the moment. Playing excellent with late game. He sees the relics, he's building the monastery. Forward TC, he's that comfortable with his position. Oh, nice shot from Cloud. But Cloud is defending himself. He's not doing anything that's damaging the Max. He's just killing a few Mangonels. You know, Max has given himself so much time. And he's getting chainmail armor for the Woad Raiders. And 1 for 1. Man, so many Mangonels have died. Why couldn't they just agree to never make them? You know? If 10 Mangonels have died for both, why not just agree, like, listen, let's not make any Mangonels. Kappa, of course. So there's the first Treb for the Max. Good micro from him yet again here. He's getting capped Ram as well. Ram's coming in on the left. You hear the monks getting the relics. You see on the minimap, Max is building more and more outposts to find those relics and extra gold piles. And how many plumed archers does Cloud have? Well, he has 7 plumes. And he's hoping to build a castle here. Again, tough. Really tough. If he had his castles earlier, then it's different, because then he has plumed archer momentum, and he could have done more. But he can't do anything now, and he taps out. He calls it GG. Kind of expected. Kind of expected with how Max played that. I think Cloud should have gone Drush Fast Castle Plumes. I think he didn't take advantage of the plumes early enough. If you go straight into archers, then Max can do exactly as he did and delay. And then if you don't have plumed archer numbers, you can't go eagles. So you're kind of out of options. He tried to go plumes, but it was too late to build the castles. So with this particular map, I think Cloud's strategy was just bad. I think that if he walled here, walled on the front, could have easily walled the right, and drushed, he could have delayed the Max. And what would have probably happened then is Max would have gone for that faster feudal, and he would have had to pressure, but at least it would have set Cloud up to get the plumed archer. In this matchup, if you don't get the plume in early castle, it's always going to be tough for you to justify it later on. But man, Max played good. Max played good. Katie doesn't tell the whole story there. Look at the eco. He had almost 5,000 more food. 7,000 more wood, of course was getting the relics, had so much control. And Max gets his win in his first game of this tournament. And we will now move on to game number 2. We'll make this pretty quick here. Here's the civilizations they have. Max just used Celts, so no longer has Celts. And Frail Accordion is Cloud, he just used Mayans. So Max can go for Burmese, Malians, Berbers, or Slavs. And then Frail Accordion or Cloud can go for Franks, Aztecs, Chinese, or Japanese. Keep in mind, whoever wins in round 1 will not be able to use the civs they played with in round 1 in the future rounds. Bellinator with the 5-month resub said AoE with T90. That's awesome. Well, thanks, man. Bourbon Proof says, great 24-hour stream. I love the co-op challenge with Dave and MBL. I'll have to go back and watch the older one. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make a playlist for that, Bourbon. Okay? I will make a playlist for co-op challenges because I think the previous co-op challenges didn't get enough views on YouTube. For some reason, people didn't know they were there. So I'll make sure to put that in a playlist. I enjoyed that as well. It was a lot of fun. Daedalus, thank you for the prime. Galaxon, thank you for the prime. Thank you guys. Ewo gifted the sub to Free For All. See the Hoojay says your casting is next level, dude. I know nothing about this game, and you just sell it so well. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I do my best, man. I do my best. I understand. I have people who are brands new to the game, and then I have people who know the game and have known the game for years. So I try and appeal to everyone. It's a really hard mix, but I put a shit ton of effort into my work. I'm obsessed with this. You know, you guys have no idea. Willis, who is helping me build my PC, we were talking about it and stuff, and he got some inside info on my obsession with all this. But yeah, I appreciate the feedback, man. I work really hard. Okay, no more T90 story. Welcome. Game number 2 between TheMax and Cloud. Burmese and Aztecs. This is a fun matchup. This is a really fun matchup for Arabia. And the players are really close together. Just forget about the north of the map. The north of the map is not important, okay? It is all about this southern area. And, oh no, Cloud! Not the TC! Not the TC! Fly away with your eagle the other way. No! Okay, now you want to go north. Go north, Cloud. Away from the TC. Oh, that sucks, man. Because he wants to lane. He wants to steal pigs. He wants to steal goats. And the players are so close together that he didn't expect the TC was going to be there. And he ran right into it. And now he can't steal. At best, he'll get a goat. The map is really tough for TheMax here. This gold could be rough. The stone could be rough. This gold is very rough. He doesn't have a lot on the back, except for a woodline or two. So this still could be a map where Cloud could apply some pressure. Wouldn't surprise me if Cloud calls a restart or something here, because I think when you have a Mesosiv, you need to try and get some laming in. Maybe he'll steal the goats, though, and he'll save the restart. Okay. I know goat. Can't steal the pig, though. Just imagine if you would have stolen the goats and stolen the pig. Then Max would have been screwed. The reason this Civ matchup is exciting for me is because Aztecs typically go man-at-arms. They start with extra gold so they can make 4 or 5. And then Burmese get extra attack on their infantry starting in feudal. So you have probably more man-at-arms incoming from Cloud, and then Max will have more attack. And then also both civilizations are stacked. You have Aztecs with their eagles and archer options. They even have strong skirmishers now. They have strong monks. You have Burmese. I mean, Burmese, it's the jack of all trades civilization. They have the infantry. They have the elephants. They have the monks. They have the eco. Both of these civilizations are very, very strong. Now Cloud's coming back to his base. Now he's hoping his pig wasn't stolen. And he's going to be correct on this. He'll see the pig, as long as he looks for it. It's always risky when you run out that early, because oftentimes you don't have the time to scout your own base, find your own resources. And so he's pushing in the zebras. Yeah, he might not see his pig. Maybe he assumes it's out there. He probably would have seen if Max would have stolen it. It would have been running across the map. Let's see if he finds it. Yep, he sees it. Okay, good stuff. So plenty of food here. All-you-can-eat buffet for Cloud. And Max also pushed in some zebra. I think he pushed in 3. And he's getting his pig. So everyone's fine for food. Even Max losing the goats. No problem. Probably man-at-arms. Probably man-at-arms. We'll have that confirmed in a moment. Viagra MT Pence says T90, can we get an I yes pig? Maybe we need a me love you pig emote. I don't know. I feel like the meme is pretty much I know pig, but in the game where that happened, Viper did say me love you pig. Now I think that would be tough for an emote. Wait for it. Feudal age times. This is important. When does the barracks go up? When do they advance to feudal age? There's the barracks for Cloud. Max will probably click up faster. Yeah, okay, so Max is on the way to feudal faster. And he's going to gold. So as expected, we will have a man-at-arms opening for both. They have very open bases, but Max is more exposed. Cloud at least has this wood line, which keeps him secure. Also, it's really nice to have everything in the same spot at some moments. Like here, if a tower goes up for Max, then it's obviously quite difficult for Cloud. He loses 2 golds and his berries, and that's just awful. But at the same time, it's quite easy to secure this area with 1 tower or with some walls. Sometimes it's better to have everything in the same location because it's much easier to defend. But you could also apply that logic to losing it. Like it would suck that much more if you lose it. Now I think Max will hold out for 4 men-at-arms. He gets the extra attack, but he knows that Cloud will probably make a few more than him, so the safe option is to go for 4. Could even consider going for 5. But he should take advantage of the faster feudal, and he's ejecting them from the barracks now. Yep. And he could fight this before the man-at-arms upgrade because he gets the extra attack. So he goes from 4 attack to 4+1 attack instantly. And he's going forward! So we referenced the Fat Dragon. We will see the Fat Dragon after this set, by the way. He'll be playing chart. We'll get to see what Vivi will be up to. But this is the strategy of the dragon. And this is the strategy that will have success in this tournament if maps are like this. The players are very close together, so aggression is the way to go. And man-at-arms on the way for both. This is tough for Cloud. As I said, if the tower does go up for Max, he'd take away 2 golds on the berries. And Cloud didn't get the feudal age fast enough to defend from this. Had he defended, it would have been great. But now this is a bit tough for him. Like, I don't like the tower. The tower doesn't help his situation much. He'll still lose gold. He'll still lose berries for the time being. And Max just shifts around to the right where he can fight this because he has the extra attack. 6+1. Better micro from the Max at the start. He's using the scout to perfection. And, okay, the end of that fight was pretty weak, actually. Let's see what the follow-up is. It's so tough to make that many man-at-arms and to build a tower. Your economy is so weak at this stage of the game, but Max is going to stone for more towers. Oh no, Max, don't lose your scout. Oh, nice play, Cloud. Nice play, Cloud, to kill that. So, okay. Down goes the tower from Max. He wants to build more. He's making more men-at-arms. There's 1, and he's not sending a second out right now. His villagers are very exposed out here, and they're not collecting resources. That's what they're meant to do. So, I'm not loving Max's position all of a sudden. Cloud, with less attack, was able to trade evenly, which is all he needed there. And, alright, Max wants to tower now. So, Max will tower. Cloud is back to his berries. Cloud is making a few skirmishers. Skirmishers are not going to stop the towers from going up. Where does Cloud have his stone at? He has a stone here and he has a stone here. He's not on that for more towers. So he can't stop the towers from going up. So I think what Max is going for are towers and skirms at the moment. If your opponent's making just skirmishers or archers, then make a few skirmishers and you'll kill the archers and you can continue towering. You know, Max also might be thinking, what is my opponent doing for gold? He's not on this gold, he's not on this gold, so where's the third one? Boom. And that's exactly where he's going to place a tower. Cloud made a huge mistake, and it was to go to stone late. If he went to stone earlier, he would have had the stone for a tower here, but he can't do anything about this. Max reads the map well, and he will deny this gold, and now Cloud will be out of gold. So not I know pig, but I know gold. Wait, what is this woman doing? Max is sneaking around? I think Max is sneaking around to maybe tower the stone. Cloud is setting a unit off to patrol this way, but wow, she is sneaky, man. She is sneaky. So, T90 Babe looping around, and she's definitely going to tower the stone, right? You know, maybe... What? Is he... What? I know she's a woman, but she's got some balls to build this tower. I don't even like it, honestly. I like the fact that She's aggressive. I like that, but the tower doesn't do that much. Anyway, Cloud builds a tower to at least keep Max from pushing in with these villagers. But he doesn't have gold. He does not have access to gold. Oh, but he's countering with archers. He's countering with archers. Max has a forward archery range, so Max can't send archers back home. And she dead. Wait. She dead. So she's dead. The sister in crime is forward finishing that tower, and the tower will be walled up. That will annoy Cloud. That will also really make Cloud think there's more back there. He might send army here, or he'll want to keep an eye on that. Worth reminding you guys, there are extra golds on this map. Cloud is just missing this gold, which is not something he expects to be there, but it's unfortunate he hasn't seen it. And the 4 villagers from Max just went back home, I think? Or are they going elsewhere? He has... Wait, is that the same... Where'd that woman go from the southern... Oh, she's right there. She was hiding. She's a chameleon. Okay. Well, there's another one up here, and she's gonna die as well if she doesn't run. Guys, the red on the left of the map are the goats. The goats that were lamed in Dark Age. There's no sneak there. And yeah, I don't get really why Max has sent these villagers. However, while it was a bit wasteful, he still has a build lead. We don't see Arambai often in rated games from top players nowadays. It's pretty tough to pull off, but perhaps we will see Arambai in this game. Maybe Max wanted to start with towers and he'll save the stone for Arambai. I think he'd have to start with a few knights though, which will give Cloud an early window to do damage. And where's Cloud going to get his gold? He will sell his stone. The market will be completed. He'll sell the stone. And it's, again, unfortunate he hasn't seen this gold. That would be really nice to find. He also hasn't seen this. Maybe he could have justified running out here. You have to scout the map, guys. There's a little bit of luck involved, of course, but you have to make sure you scout the map. Max loses this other villager. I just don't get it. I can appreciate it, but I don't get it. Now, this one's great. This tower's great because he knows Cloud could maybe sneak out here. So he wants to get another tower up just to make sure that Cloud can't get those golds. Now, while Cloud would like to sell some stone for golds, I don't know how much he should sell. I think that's about it. Because he can go to Castle Age, save the rest of the stone, and build a castle to kill the towers and get his gold back. It's either that option, or your option would be to sell all your stone and make a lot of military with your gold. But I think the risk then is, even if you get to military, you still won't have your gold. So it's better to wait for a castle. And while Cloud went to stone late, I've liked everything he's done since. He counterattacked. He has the proper amount on stone now. 8 kills for him, only 4 deaths. I like the skirmisher edition. I like how he didn't make a lot of skirmishers. He's going scale mail, so I think he's thinking eagles. And both players are on the way to Castle Age. Max is too. Max will go Arambai, right? Well, no, actually. At least not at the start. He doesn't have the stone for it after building so many towers. So it would probably need to be skirms and, oh, he could go long swords, but I think a knight or two. Though if you expect your opponent to be making eagles, you could try and go longsword. Probably not in a tournament game, though. It's a bit risky. Eagles are still faster. So, excellent scouting from the Max. I would consider him slightly behind because he doesn't have the numbers of military, but there's not a lot in it. Cloud will come forward. He will place a castle. I'd like to see it right here. Boom. No, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Place it a little bit more to the front and to the left, and then you kill this tower as well. Maybe that will still range, though. Either way, he'll get his main gold back. Now Max could be sending a knight out. Yep, he's going 2 stables, but I think by the time the knight gets here, the castle will go up. One thing I'm really bad at, and maybe I should use grid, because players will use grid when they play. I'm quite bad at judging the range of towers and castles sometimes. But okay, I got this one right, yeah. So it's a small thing, but it's kind of annoying that this tower isn't ranged by that castle. Anyway, it's fine. He'll get this gold for now. It's a small detail. And Burmese, the beauty of Burmese is they get their lumber upgrade free in the next age, on every age. So immediately, fantastic eco for Max, 2 TCs, 3 TCs soon. And now the skirmishers from Cloud don't make any sense, and they'll go down. Oh, another thing about the Burmese civilization, because I mentioned some of their bonuses earlier, they also see where the relics are. So Aztecs, they get a relic gold bonus when they collect it, but Burmese can see the relics. So that's another interesting thing in this Civ matchup. Cloud is stonewalling the right, which I love, and he's building barracks now. Still 1 town center. I guess he doesn't have the best 2nd or 3rd TC locations. Okay, there we go. There's the 2nd TC. He can't let Max get a big eco lead. And he's building barracks for pikemen. Okay. Well, when the players are this close, I would like to see pikemen and monks for Cloud. But the problem is it's not a real strong offensive option. He doesn't have a big ball of crossbows, which would be useful here. So he really has no answer to the knights right now. So if he doesn't get to Max's base soon, I think Max will have a big eco and Max could build a castle. Arambai are fantastic versus infantry, which Aztecs are good at making. So there's a risk at making pikes, there's a risk at making eagles. There's also a risk of making Arambai when your opponent can go arbalest. So it's again a fun Civ matchup because both players have options. Well, knights are looping around from the Max. He realizes he can't get in the side. And he sees the pikemen. He sees the pikemen don't have many upgrades, and he'll kill them. I'm liking Max's position. He's getting slightly stronger as we speak, because now he has a 14 villager lead. And he will build a siege workshop on the hill. Yeah, he realizes that this would be Cloud's time to push. He realizes he has an advantage. He doesn't want to let that slip. T90 official, what building costs the most wood to build? The Wonder. Beyond the Wonder? Well, we'll have to save these questions for the T90 trivia segment of the stream. we'll go to the trivia after the content today. Yeah, nice try, Skip. Nice try. Oh, nice quick wall from Cloud. I mean, still it kind of sucks. Oh boy, Jinx. That sucks. Curse of the commentator. I mean, it's still awful that the knights are running into the back of his eco. Like, Max kills villagers here, and then he splits groups and goes to the wood line immediately. Smart thinking. Max giving himself so much time. He gets chain barding armor. He needs to fight the pikemen. Okay, Max realizes. Yeah, I think Cloud's in trouble, man. He's not doing anything now. You know, he's defending with pikemen, and Max has the option of going for champion in the next stage, which would be strong versus that. Arambai, which would be strong versus that. Max has a relic already. He'll probably work on getting the rest. He's getting 2. He could get 3. The best way to describe Max as a player is just overall, he is solid. He rarely makes mistakes. He rarely gives the opponent an opportunity to gain a lead. And I think Max will soon build a castle on the front. He has a 21 villager lead. That's a crazy number considering they're so close together. A 21 villager lead. And Cloud is still waiting for that opportunity to get enough to fight. And he's thinking maybe if he goes crossbow and pikeman, it'll be enough. Just doesn't have a lot of numbers. And here comes Max with the Mangonel. Perfect timing with the Mangonel. And that means he'll kill the crossbows, and I think a forward castle will go up right on this hill. He could also place it more aggressively, maybe here to kill the TC. But no, he goes for the safe option. I think he'll just hold and go to Imp at this stage. Like, does he need to build an offensive castle? Not really. The tower's still up. And if he goes to Imp, Cloud will have no response to trebuchets. No response to a lot of the things that Max can go with. T90 official, do you think Max has improved a lot after KO2D1? Or he just wasn't in the best shape then? No, Max was amazing in KO2D1. He beat Licks, he beat Slam, he beat MBL, all players who were favored to get to the semis. Well, maybe not Licks, but MBL and Slam obviously are well-known players, right? So I think the reality is people didn't give Max enough credit after KO2D1. The only person Max lost to in the first King of the Desert was Viper, who won the tournament, right? So there's a reason that Max is 4th seed in this event. And he also he's always been good in team games, so. I hate to say it, guys, but I think Cloud's just kind of dead. I mean, he's 30 vils behind. He's not on the way to the Imperial Age. Max will go champion in Trebs. I don't see a way back for Cloud here. 3rd relic on the way back for the Max. This monk's been sitting here idle for a little while, so the man is human, but he sees that relic. He sees this one. He'll have 4. And Max looking dominant today. Viper is a pleb. So you're saying, okay, that's true. If you think Viper's a pleb, I would disagree. If you think Viper's a pleb, then maybe you can be disappointed in Max's performance. But if you think Viper's a pleb, you've never watched this game before. So I can recommend a couple hundred tournaments to check out. Max hits Imp. He'll make a trebuchet. He's making his infantry. And Max still, you know, this is a new tower, right? He built another tower to delay the gold in the wood, and he'll keep that tower up because he kills Red's Maganel. And he'll build another castle here, and really just needs to do the same. Just continue doing what he is doing, go with the Trebs, go with the champions. With such a lead now with his economy, I don't think Cloud has a way back. Yep, Prento said it. Total dominance from the Max. Round 1 of King of the Desert. 2-handed swordsman on the way. The Trebs are dropping. The castles are dropping. And I think Cloud's going to drop out of game 2. Now, there's been opportunities for Cloud. Cloud is obviously good enough to get to the Imperial Age versus Max twice now. But he's losing too much ground. I think he needs to be more aggressive. In both games, Max is the one who's had map control from early feudal, and he just never gives it up. So I think that Cloud should perhaps think about being more aggressive. And there we go. Cloud hits Imp, but this is the struggle now. He hits Imp, but he's repairing his castle. That castle will probably drop the Trebs. And while he's preparing Arbalest, which is the correct move here, Arbalest and Skirmisher versus Champion would be the correct move, Max could easily tech switch. Max could go Onager, Max could go Elephant, Max could do so much. Or he could just go full Champion with the amount of res he has. And down goes the castle. And Cloud is housed, and yeah, this is Max's game, man. Impressive performance here. Guys, I will show you all the bracket on the screen here in a moment, and I can answer some of those questions you're asking. Wait till the game's finish, and then we could do that. If you'd like to see the brackets yourself, though, you can always type !brackets in the Twitch chat. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, the brackets, which will have spoilers, are in the video description. So I guess if you're watching on YouTube, you should be careful looking at the bracket, because you're seeing it a few days after the fact, and those brackets are updated. But here we are. Max gets his victory. Again, just domination, just solid play all around. More kills, more eco, more everything. More scouting, more relics, more research. The guy was insane. And it's not as if Cloud played awful early feudal. He got his defensive tower up. He was able to have a lead, actually, at least with the score. But when it came time to pushing back, Max took too many advantages with the map control he bought himself. Cree says, can you update the draft? Yeah. Yeah, I have to do that here in a second. Do I have any mods in the chat right now that could update the draft? I'll link the draft. Might be a little bit late on the mods right now. I'll just link the draft in the chat. Oh, Hank is there. Cool. Dux is there. All right, sweet. They're out there. Just add that. I have a draft command now. So if you could edit the draft command to make it so it's for Max and Cloud instead of the previous set, that would be perfect. It's not that I can't do it, but I have a lot of stuff to talk about in the next game's about to start. Okay, so Max is 2 games up. These are the civilizations that they chose for this best of 5. So Max has played with Burmese and Celts. He's won both games, and then it was Mayans and Aztecs. Both Mesocivs out now for Cloud. Cloud needs to win or he's out of the tournament. This is a single elimination tournament, round 1. Malians, Berbers, Slavs for Max, Franks, Chinese, Japanese for Cloud. Japanese is an interesting pick for me. I feel like there were some stronger picks there, not to offend any Japanese people out there, not to offend Spirit of the Law. Hope you still like me, but anyway, he could go for Franks. Franks would be a strong pick. I think Franks is a bit risky now, though. I think Franks is a weaker option than Chinese because Malians and Berbers would counter Franks. Slavs potentially as well. So I think Chinese, they have more options, it's more versatile regardless of who you face here. T90 official, do you think Max picked too strong of civilizations for the first round? Not really. I mean, he's lost Burmese and Celts. So the only civs you can't play with in round 2 and 3 are the civs you actually play games with. So it's not as if all the civs he's drafted he will lose. So if he wins this game with, let's say, Berbers, then he won't have that, but then he'd still have Malians and Slavs, so. Slavs are strong, Malians are strong, Berbers are strong. I think we'll go Berbers here. Berbers is probably the worst of the 3, even though it's still very strong. And that's what we have. Perfect. Okay, guys, so welcome to game number 3. We have TheMax. He's here in the blue. He's been just dominant in this set. Very dominant. And then we have Franks for Cloud. This is a repeat of the last map. Players are close together, and the top 60% of this map doesn't matter. So just forget about the north, okay? Forget about the north and worry about this southern area of the map. Just weird map generation sometimes on KOT2 Arabia. It really puts a lot of emphasis on scouting because this map gen is just peculiar for me. Look at all the wood lines in between the players. Having map control will be so big as the game goes on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large wood lines. Cloud has this wood, he has this wood, but I don't know, man. Like, Max's situation is even worse, potentially. 2 forward golds. These wood lines, he could lose them. 3 forward golds, sorry. Yeah, I think if this was let's say a tournament final, or a set where Max wasn't favored to win and he wasn't up 2 games, he would consider calling a restart because of the map. Consider it at least. Because this is a bit tough. But I think the map is just going to be tough for both of them. Sometimes I've seen players on this KOTD to Arabia not scouting their opponent. They don't know where they are. They're expecting them to be more to the north. That's where you would normally scout. But both of these civilizations are scout civilizations. We'll probably see players pushing deer to start, or zebras, I guess. And they'll shoot for 20 population advance to feudal, which is the fastest time normally. Oh, fix it, Cloud. Fix it. Oh, God, that boar lore. I can't look. I can't look. Look at this one. This makes you feel better about life. Oof. Sometimes the boars will get caught up on the trees, and you have to stop firing and wait for them to come closer to the TC. Does Max know his pig is there? Yeah, he does. Okay, he's fine. So much food. So much food. Okay, so how many people in the chat, probably not many of you, but how many of you guys have played this KOTD 2 Arabia? And if you've played, what do you think of the zebras in comparison to the deer? The reason I ask is because I actually like the zebras more than deer. It's the same thing food-wise, but I'm curious how they react for you. So let me put it to you this way. I don't like KOTD 2 Arabia in comparison to regular Arabia, but I like the zebras. I think the zebras are easier to push. Like, very rarely do you see the zebras bugging out and running back. We're seeing a lot of games now where players are able to push all their zebras really quickly and still get to their opponent's base of scouts. I was just curious. They might actually be the same. But it could be how close they are, actually. It could be how close they are, yeah. So you might have wood lines that are 5 miles away, but you will definitely have zebra. So you can at least have a good meal before you go on your journey to find wood. Zebras look more distinct, so you won't forget about them. Well, I'm not worried about their visual appearance. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about how they move, you know? That's all. I was just curious. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion. Zebra's a bit more gamey. Yeah, fair enough. Well, Feudal Age on the way for max now, 20 population. And Cloud has delayed his time. Okay, so he'll go up with one more villager. One more villager for Cloud. I hate his woodline location. This is going to be really complicated for him. And Cloud finding out after he decided where to go to wood that Max is to the right, so he's chosen the forward wood line. A bit unfortunate if you ask me. I kind of like deer being hard to push. Well, that's why I asked your opinions on it. See, on one hand, it is unfortunate when one person can push 3 or 4 deer and the other person has deer in the northern corner way too far away to push. Like, that's just unfair. So I kind of like the fact that it's even. But anyway, I was more curious with how quickly the zebras react. I think you can push zebras faster. Deer are a bit more slow mentally in this game. So sometimes they just stand there. They don't move. Zebras, they run as fast as they can. Stable for Max. Stable, incoming for Cloud once he hits feudal. Forward spear for Max, not a bad move. And this quickly comes down to how can players secure their bases and how is their economy. Max getting housed there, that's sloppy from him. Yeah, for a robot, that's really sloppy. Never seen a robot get housed before. There we go. Something to remind you guys of is that Frank Scouts have more HP. So 54 HP on Frank Scouts, whereas it's 45 for any other scout in the game. So Franks, if fighting in equal numbers, will have the lead, but not if spearmen come forward. And that's why Max is sending 2 forward spears. Okay, that doesn't help matters for the Max. He hits the spearman. He's sending his own spearman forward. Yeah, I think Cloud will be able to add his own spear. The best decision here is either fight with your vills versus the spears, or send your own spearman. Which he's doing. He's sending his own spear. So I explained this earlier. I'll try and explain it again. At the moment, Franks have a slight lead because they have the forage bonus, they have the farm bonus, they also have the scout HP. But as feudal age goes on, it only gets better for Berbers when they start transitioning to castle age. Oh, interesting fight here. I almost don't like it for both of them. They both have to micro, and Max's micro seems superior there. Max with 3 kills and 2 deaths, and he's keeping 2 of his scouts alive. Well played. But back to my point here for just a moment. So in Castle Age, Berbers have cheap knights and they have cheap camels. And the fact that they have cheap camels means that they would beat Franks. So So I think Franks need to have a feudal age lead or a slight feudal age momentum lead because it's going to be tough for them once Berbers have those strong options. So Franks are great, but if it's an even game in feudal, it will only be better for Max at the start of castle. And Max, like he's done every game, has bought himself so much time. So he's been walling up, and Cloud's been thinking about it, but Cloud can't. And Max is sending more and more spears. I like the spear move, man. Both are going to be going scouts, right? So why not send a few spearmen into the mix? This just seems awkward for Cloud at the moment. He's down a few villagers. He has some idle time. Max is being extremely annoying. Look at that. He runs away now with the scouts when the spears arrive. Will he kill that villager? He probably won't kill the villagers with just pointy boys, right? They're not very pointy yet in feudal age. But just being a presence, and he's not stopping. He's not stopping with the spears. He's even sending another scout out. Okay. Well, Cloud is forced to make his own spears. Now, one way you could play this if you're Cloud, if you expect your opponent's going to have camels, is to play heavy onto spears anyway. So it's not something that Cloud had off of his radar, but this is defensive and he's behind in numbers. That's the problem. And he's fighting with villagers, which should be collecting resources. And now Max has added another scout, so it's 4 here. And he'll go right back for that weak villager who was there earlier, and she was the house builder. So that house is delayed. Max even getting scale mail. Interesting. Oh, geez. Okay, he lost the scout there. Well, credit to Cloud. He's stabilized a little bit. Will get more awkward when his opponent gets the upgrade, and Max has. Cloud has that gold in the back of his base secured. We'll need a spear there, possibly, but he's prepping for Castle Age. Cloud... He slid in here. I missed this, actually. Maybe there was a hole, or maybe he ran around. But he'll be trapped now. So there's no way he's getting out of Max's base, and Cloud will just lose his scouts. And then back to the gold. Max got a Vill pick. Well played. Well played. So Max currently 100 food. 100 food for Cloud, so they're pretty similar with resources. 17 kills for the Max. He's still making more scouts. This has been an aggressive feudal battle. I would have preferred to see him get forging instead of the scale mail armor upgrade earlier, just because the forging upgrade would have applied to not only his spearmen, but it would have applied to his scouts. Meaning he could have done more damage on the gold. But now he's getting forging anyway, so his spearmen will be stronger, they'll be pointier. And the scouts will smack harder, because that's what they're doing, right? They're just like, smack, smack, smack. That's what it sounds like to me anyway. I'm no expert. I'm just some fool talking about the game. I love when I say something dumb like that, and then someone arrives to the stream for the first time, and Twitch gives that little notification. Like, Toasty, the Toasted Toaster, showed up to the stream just at that moment, potentially for the first time, and I'm talking about smacks. Sorry about that, buddy. I love how many groups Max has at the moment. He goes to the wood line. He's also running back with this group, and he's running in with this group of scouts. And I just think Cloud's in trouble. It would make sense that Cloud's in trouble. He doesn't have as many upgrades on his units. He doesn't have as many units, and his wood line's exposed. So 25 kills for the Max, 12 deaths for him. And yeah, he's been picking off villagers on the farms. He killed 2 more there. I think Cloud he's in trouble, man. If you didn't realize already, yeah, he's in trouble. Max will soon click up to Castle Age as well. Max has just been a beast today. Like, there's a reason that people think Max can win this tournament. He has made this look so easy. And Cloud has never looked good. And Cloud is a top 32 player. And he's getting wrecked. He's getting wrecked. This game is over. Cloud calls the GG. And that is the end of a quick best of 5 in round 1. Max moves on. Jeez, man. We're just talking about Max the whole time. Max is doing this. Max is doing that. It was all about Max. We didn't really talk about Cloud much unless he was dying. But congratulations to TheMax, the World Cup winner. He moves on in round 1 of King of the Desert 2. 30 kills, 14 deaths. More economy, better micro, and he deserves it. So let's pull up the brackets. Who is Max going to face next? This is where it gets interesting for us, guys. So obviously, this whole tournament's going to have a lot of games. I know you might not be able to see all of this because of the size on the screen. If you'd like to read this, you can type !brackets or bracket in the chat. But Max is here on the bracket. So Max has beaten Cloud. He will face the winner of Backed and Licks. So I think Max could certainly beat Backed or Licks. Max beat Licks in King of the Desert 1. Backed is favored there, though, and Backed is arguably better than 13th in the world right now, which is his seed in this tournament. He's been playing really good. We will have more action today. We're about to start Fat Dragon and Chart. So Vivi, the 3rd seed going into this tournament, facing off against the 30th seed. So far in round 1, there's been a lot of sweeps. There's been a lot of 3-0, 3-1 victories. This happens, but then in rounds 2, it spices it up. The best set of the day today will be Tato and Stark. That will be in 4 hours. Tato and Stark will be playing their best of 5 in round 1. And Stark or Tato could win that one. And winner of that also will face Hera, which will be an exciting set in the future.